Hey everybody, I'm going to walk you through a quick demo of Lucidchart. It is a super awesome and super easy tool to use, and what you will do is you will use the link that we provided, and it should take you to some kind of sign up website, some sign up page for a student educator license. This is really great because it gives you an upgraded premium license, which allows you to have multiple flow charts and things like that. If you aren't using the premium license or this EDO premium license, you won't have access to be able to create multiple documents, and it limits the number of shapes and things you can use. So I'm going to jump right in and pull up a blank sheet. And when you log in here, you're gonna kind of see this set of screens, and over here there's all kinds of cool like flow charting tools that you can basically just drag and drop them in, and you can use arrows, and you can go in here and actually connect things easily to each other. But we're not going to be using this form of flow charting and things like that. What you're going to do is go up in here and search and just type in ERD and search, and right here you'll see entity relationships. So if you look at this, there are 4 different versions. The first one is just basically going to cover an entity with columns. This next one, so if I drag this first one in, it's just a field list. We don't want that one, because what we want is the second one, which will allow us to mark which fields are keys, primary keys and foreign keys. If you do grab this other one in here and you see that it says fields and types, this would be useful if we want to identify the data types in our table. So for our purposes, we are going to be using the one that looks like this. It is a key in a field, and if you start playing around with this, you can actually copy and paste, and I'll just do a very simple example of like a customer and orders. So you can just double click on this, and you can call your entities whatever. Typically it's a singular form of the entity, so this is the customer entity, the order table. I can go in here and double click on the fields and add in customer ID. Let's go customer first, or let's shorten this. Let's go with the first name and a last name. And for simplicity's sake, I'm not gonna do a whole bunch here, but I am going to show you that I could, if I wanted to, add more fields by just clicking up here. I'm going to go ahead and, just for the sake of example, I'm going to go ahead and do an email and a phone number. Now these keys here, I'm going to just delete them. I'm just going to delete these specific things out. And here I'm just going to actually identify this as the primary key. On the order table, I'm going to have a primary key of order ID. Get rid of these additional keys for now. I'm going to go ahead and do an order date. What else? Well, let's just leave it at that for now. Let's keep it simple. So there we go. So now what we can do is, if I want to show a relationship between this entity and that entity, when you hover over any one of these dots, you'll see it turn red. If you have it selected and you start hovering over it, it might start giving you a little problem. But anyway, when you drag between these two, it will automatically utilize a crow's foot connection. Now what you can do is, up here on the left side, you can toggle and turn off the left side. You can turn off the right side, so you can just do a single line. So in this case, can a customer have one order or many orders? Well, we think it is that the customer can have many orders, so I'm going to go ahead and use the many. And for the sake of what we're doing in this class, we're just gonna use one or many. You could use the 0 or many, and that would be correct too. But again, we're not gonna get so heavily into that. So I'm just focused on, let's either use a 1 or a many. So an order, I'm gonna assume in this case, we've worked with the business counterpart, and an order has to belong to one customer. Now this is how you would connect them to entities, but we know that when we have a one-to-many relationship, that we have to take the primary key on the one side and put it on the many side. So that means I'm going to add another column here. I'm going to copy paste this in here, and I'm going to make that my foreign key. And then I'm specifically going to move this relationship here. So now I can say that the customer ID is connected to the foreign key over here. And that is a quick demo that walks you through everything. So again, you would just search for ERD up here. Once you have your shapes, you drag them in. If you want to connect something to another thing, you just hover over that where you get the red dot. Double click on things to edit. The other thing you can do is once you start getting really complex scenarios where you have a lot of tables, you can use the auto layout, and that will automatically kind of format things for you. You can try that. Also, if you want, you can, let's see here, I'm just making sure there's no other features here. I think that would honestly be enough. There are ways that you can align certain things, but I think the drag and drop is easier. And honestly, when you do this auto arrange, I just noticed that it actually messes up our relationships, and I don't want that to happen. I want their relationships to be between specific columns. So yeah, I would just try not to, I try to avoid having lines crossing over each other, make sure that this is just readable and understandable. And don't worry so much about coloring or sizing fonts or any of that kind of stuff. I think that'll cover everything. If you have any other questions, just post on our discussion board and we'll answer there. All right, thanks.